A 48-hour water fast can increase your growth hormone by 1,300%, triggering cellular cleanup and starts reversing aging. It even flips your metabolism from a sugar burning mode into a fat burning mode, all without a single calorie. But here's what nobody's telling you. If you do it wrong, especially if you're a woman over 30, you could tank your hormones, kill your thyroid, and actually gain fat instead of losing it. My name is Dr. Michael Diamonds. I'm a medical doctor, a scientist, and a pro-natural bodybuilder. I've guided over 2,000 clients through their transformations, and today I'm pulling back the curtain on the 48-hour water fast. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is happening in your body hour by hour, how to execute this safely, and the critical mistakes that turn this powerful tool into a metabolic disaster. Let's dive in. The first point, it's the metabolic timeline. What happens hour by hour? So in hours 0 to 12, this is the depletion phase. Your last meal was at 6 p.m. By 6 a.m. the next morning, your body's burned through about 70% of your liver glycogen, the stored sugar that fuels your brain and your muscles. Now, your insulin levels are dropping and your body is quietly preparing to flip the metabolic switch. Nothing dramatic yet. You might feel a bit hungry, but this is standard. Your body's still running on glucose. Now, from hour 12 to 24, the switch. By hour 16, your glycogen stores are nearly depleted and your body starts producing ketones from fat, breaking down fuel for your brain. This comes in the form of beta hydroxybutyrate levels, the primary ketone beginning to climb. There's a 2024 study published by Frontiers in Endocrinology, and it found that 24 hours of water fasting increased growth hormone levels by a median 1,225% in men and 274% in women. So let me repeat that. Over 1,000 increase in growth hormone without injecting a single thing. So you may be asking, Dr. Mike, why does this matter? Human growth hormone, HGH, preserves muscle mass during caloric restriction and mobilizes fat for energy, and it even has anti-aging properties. Now, pharmaceutical HGH costs thousands of dollars per month and comes with its side effects like elevated blood sugar and fluid retention. Your body just hands you this for free. Now, by hour 24, autophagy, your cellular cleanup system, officially kicks in. So think of autophagy like taking out the trash in your house. If you never do it, garbage piles up, things start to smell, and your living space becomes toxic. Autophagy does this at a cellular level, removing damaged mitochondria, misfolded proteins, cellular debris that accelerate aging. Now, by hours 24 to 48, this is where we have peak cellular transformation. This is the sweet spot. By 48 hours, multiple systems hit their stride. There's a 2025 study in MDPI nutrients, and it found that after 48 hours of fasting, insulin sensitivity increases dramatically. Your cells become better at using insulin and uptaking glucose. Your inflammatory markers drop significantly. Autophagy reaches its peak intensity at that 48 to 72 hours, according to research on fasting-induced cellular repair. Your growth hormone continues surging, and there's one classic study that showed 48-hour fasting increased 24-hour growth hormone production fivefold, from 0.64 milligrams per day to 3.2 milligrams per day. Both the frequency of growth hormone pulses and the amount released per pulse doubled. So here's what's wild. Your growth hormone spike happens independently of your weight loss. But before I go on, if you guys like this level of research, leave the video the gentle thumbs up. This tells me, Dr. Mike, we want more of this kind of video. That's a vote. And let me know in the comments, what's the longest you fasted? Did you feel all the beneficial things I've mentioned, or did you feel all the negative things I mentioned? And I think your experience may inspire or stop someone who shouldn't be doing this from doing it. So let me know in the comments, but let's move on. Now, the fat loss mechanism you're not expecting. Everyone thinks fasting burns fat because you're not eating. That's only part of the story. And there's a 2023 study analyzing a 23-hour water fast, and it found that participants had a complete remodeling of the fats circulating in their bloodstream. The lipids that are associated with cardiovascular disease and diabetes drop significantly. Your body just isn't burning fat for energy. It is selectively clearing out the dangerous types of fat molecules that are linked to your heart disease, insulin resistance, and even inflammation. And this is even better. That same study found that metabolites produced during the 36-hour fast actually extended lifespan when fed with them. The compounds your body produces during fast have life-extending properties. But here's the part that most YouTubers won't tell you. Improper fasting can backfire spectacularly. Now, the first mistake I see is ignoring your hormonal status, especially for the ladies. So ladies, listen up. A 24-hour fast affects your hormones differently compared to men, and timing matters. And there's a 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, and it found that 48-hour water fasting in women decreased androgen production. It lowered cortisol through increased inactivation, but it increased progesterone. The study showed that fasting fundamentally shifted steroid hormone biosynthesis in women. The problem? If you're in your luteal phase, days 15 to 28 of your cycle, the 2 weeks before your period, extended fasting can spike your cortisol and interfere with progesterone production. This is when your body's the most sensitive to stress, and fasting is a stressor. Now, research from functional medicine practitioners studying cycle-synced fasting found that extended fast should be avoided during these days, from 15 to 28 days. The sweet spot for women attempting a 48-hour fast, it's days 8 to 11 of your cycle, when estrogen is rising and your progesterone is still low. Estrogen dramatically improves your glucose utilization. It promotes autophagy, allowing your body to tolerate short-term energy deficits with less stress signals. And this is the perfect time to do that. And for men, testosterone can temporarily drop during a 48-hour fast. Once you refeed properly, you put food back into your systems, your level bounce back. And the key is not making this a chronic pattern. The second mistake is not preparing your body. You can't go from eating a pizza and ice cream at midnight to starting a 48-hour fast the next morning. That is what you can call a metabolic whiplash. 3 days before your fast, start reducing your refined carbs and your processed foods. Increase your healthy fats and your protein. This primes your body to efficiently switch to fat burning mode. If you go into a fast with chronically high insulin and poor metabolic flexibility, you'll feel like absolute garbage, and then you're likely to quit. The third mistake I see is dehydration and electrolyte depletion. So water-only fasting means water, but it doesn't mean no electrolytes. When you fast, your insulin levels drop, and low insulin signals to your kidneys to excrete sodium and water. This is a process called natriuresis, and that's why you pee more during a fast. If you're not supplementing electrolytes, you'll experience headaches, dizziness, muscle cramps, and even brain fog. These aren't detox symptoms. They're your body screaming for sodium, for potassium, and even magnesium. So during a 48-hour fast, aim for 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of sodium. That's about 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Aim for 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium and 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of potassium. This is harder to supplement, so consider potassium chloride or light salt. Mix these into your water throughout the day. It won't break your fast, it will just make your entire fasting experience dramatically better. The fourth mistake I see is breaking the fast like a Viking. After a 48-hour fast, your digestive system is more so in low power mode. If you immediately smash a huge meal, especially one that's high in carbs and fats, you're risking refeeding syndrome. It's a dangerous shift in electrolytes that can cause cardiac issues. Break your fast gently. Start with bone broth or a small amount of easily digestible protein like eggs or fish, and then wait 1 to 2 hours. Then eat a moderate meal focused on protein and veggies, and then save the carb feast for the next day. So, Now I'm going to give you the exact protocol to follow step by step. So 3 days before, reduce your refined carbs and sugar and increase your healthy fats with things like avocado, oil, healthy nuts, and protein. We want to cut our caffeine intake by 50% to avoid the withdrawals like headaches. Also, stay really well hydrated. This is 3 days before. On day 1, hours 0 to 24, your last meal at 6 p.m., focus on high protein, healthy fats, and veggies. I want you to drink a minimum of 2 to 3 liters with electrolytes. Light activity, walking is fine, some gentle stretching, and avoid intense workouts. Expect mild hunger. Black coffee or green tea is allowed. No cream, no sweetener. On day 2 of your fast, from hour 24 to 48, continue with the 2 to 3 liters of water with electrolytes, and you might feel euphoric. This is your ketone and your HGH surge. Or you might feel sluggish, and this is normal if your body's adapting. Avoid high stress situations. Light movement can help, and don't sit all day. Journal how you feel. The data is valuable for future fasts, and you're breaking the fast at 48 hours. Start with 8 to 12 ounces of bone broth and small protein intake. Wait for an hour to an hour and a half, 60 to 90 minutes, and then eat a moderate meal, maybe 4 to 6 ounces of protein, chicken, fish, or eggs, maybe 2 cups of steamed veggies, a small portion of healthy fats. Chew slowly, stop at 80% fullness. So the day after that, resume to normal eating with whole foods. Track how you feel. Track your energy, your mental clarity, your physical performance. And most people report feeling phenomenal after the 24 to 48 hours post-fast once they've refed. But who should not do this? So I want to be medically responsible here. A 48-hour fast is not for everybody. So don't attempt this if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, if you have a history of eating disorders, if you are underweight. I'm talking about a BMI less than 18.5. Don't do this if you have type 1 diabetes. If you have type 2 diabetes on medication, fasting can actually be dangerous hypoglycemia. If you're on medication that need to be taken with food, if you have chronic kidney disease, if you have a heart condition, get medical clearance first. If you're under 18 or over 65 without medical supervision, for women, take this into consideration. Avoid it if you're actively trying to conceive. Avoid this during menstruation or the week before. Avoid the 48-hour fast if you're experiencing irregular periods or amenorrhea. And avoid if you're dealing with high stress, poor sleep, or any adrenal issues. Fasting is a stressor. It's beneficial because it's challenging to your system, but if your system is already overstressed, adding more stress can break the camel's back. So what does the science say about doing this fasting long term? And this is the fascinating part. Repeated 48-hour fasts done strategically might be more powerful than daily intermittent fasting for certain outcomes. And there's a 2024 study where they do fasting mimicking diets, which creates similar metabolic states to pure fasts. And it found that participants showed blood markers indicating reduced biological age and disease risk. So hepatic markers, your liver markers improved, inflammation markers decreased, and your metabolic health was enhanced. The key word here is strategic. This is not something we do every week. Most protocols recommend once per month for metabolic reset. Quarterly, maybe deeper autophagy and cellular renewal, and always timed appropriately with your cycle if you're a woman. And think of it like software update for your body. You don't have to do it every day. You do it strategically when needed to clear out bugs and to optimize your performance. Now, a 48-hour fast is one of the most powerful metabolic interventions available. For free, no pills, no injections, no surgery. In 48 hours, you can increase your growth hormone by 1300, trigger deep cellular autophagy, dramatically improve your insulin sensitivity, clear out inflammatory lipids from your bloodstream, and reset your relationship with food and hunger. But it's not a magic pill. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can build or destroy depending on how you use it. So prepare yourself properly, time it right, especially for women, and break the fast intelligently and listen to your body and how it feels genuinely. But I'll leave the video here. If you want to watch a video of how I plan out my entire training, my nutrition and my diet to kill visceral fat, you should watch this video next. I'll see you in the next one.